In the last federal election campaign, the leader of the third party promised that if he were elected, then he would bring in an era of new politics. Throw out the old ways. Be transparent. Be democratic. Be honorable. That leader? Our current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Well, so much for that plan. There are currently 4 ridings in Canada without representation from MPs in the House of Commons. Today, the leader of the third party is the leader of the NDP, and he is ready to run as a candidate in one of those empty ridings. In fact, Jagmeet Singh has been ready to run in Burnaby South in BC since August. It's now November. And while Trudeau just called a by-election for an empty seat in Ontario, where a Conservative MP passed away, he has not called any of the other 3. So in addition to 2 other seats still waiting to elect an MP, Quebec and Ontario, there is currently no by-election planned in Burnaby, where Singh, the leader of the NDP, is waiting to try to get a seat in the House of Commons. In the old politics that Trudeau promised to transform to his new ethics, not only were by-elections called virtually immediately if a party leader was trying to enter Parliament, but in some cases the party in power would not run a candidate in order to allow that leader to promptly enter public life. These were considered to be the decent things to do, to allow a leader with different ideas to have a forum, to allow that leader to give full representation to members of his party. So what is Trudeau afraid of? Does the Prime Minister want to stifle parliamentary opposition to his decisions? Was the PM afraid to take on the other leader in the cut and thrust of question period? Well, in this era of some leaders calling for the blacklisting of various speakers with whom they disagree on the basis that their ideas are an affront to common decency, our PM could, and indeed he should, be called out for this weak-kneed act of hubris. He's not the dictator of parliamentary practice. He should not be allowed to change well-regarded traditions just because, as he would say. Or is it rather that Singh is really weak, very unpopular, and they want him around to beat up in the next federal election? Of course, if it's a by-election and he was defeated, there'd be enough time for the NDP to get a new leader who could be harder for Trudeau to defeat. They're suggesting that it's somewhat Machiavellian as to why there's not a by-election in BC. We don't know, because the Prime Minister has not given any reasons, even in the House of Commons, as to why he called only one of the 4. But that doesn't make it any better. Voters should have the opportunity to elect a representative, no matter who it is, no matter what the Prime Minister's political motives. They shouldn't be denied the opportunity because Trudeau is afraid of Singh. And they should be denied the opportunity because Trudeau is afraid that Singh would lose a by-election. Of course, we don't know what the reason is. Trudeau has not explained why he did not call all by-elections at the same time. But this act does seem to be in step with his entitled way of dealing with matters. His attitude being that we should just accept his decisions and not ask any questions. I'm sorry, Prime Minister. This is a democracy. Canadians should not have to accept "because I said so" as a reason.